Hey guys, welcome back. So, we're getting ready to head out to the family farm, and this time we will be using the trusty Mossberg 500 12 gauge. This one has the smooth bore slugger barrel on it, and the slugs that we'll be using are these. They are Federal 2 3/4 inch. It just says maximum rifled slug HP. Take a look at these. There you go. That's what they look like. And they've been shooting pretty well. Now, of course, with a shotgun, it's a fairly short range affair, typically. I think the longest shot that I've ever actually taken while hunting with this thing is maybe around 80 yards or so. But this year we do have some optics on here. We actually got a scope. I've tried putting scopes on here in the past and it's just never worked out all that well. This one is the first one that's really held up and been working really good for me. It's a loophole. First time I've ever used loophole, so I'm pretty impressed with that. So alright guys, it's getting kind of late in the afternoon, so let's get out there. Okay, so I was actually walking out to my hunting spot, and I happened to look down this field row here, and I saw 3 deer. Looked like a larger doe with probably 2 yearlings. That's not a short shot there. That's probably 100 yards. So it's a good little poke here with the smooth bore, the Mossberg 500. It's got the smooth bore slugger barrel, 12 gauge. I'm shooting the Federal 2 3/4 inch rifled slugs. The doe was facing me. It's not a great shot angle, so I've given her a few minutes here, but I'm gonna hike up there and see if I can pick up the blood trail. I heard her run up into all this real thick stuff right here. So it may be a little difficult to find her, but I ain't got a deer all year. You know, this is the first real shot opportunity I've had. Alright, if you're wondering what the knife of the day is, it's the old trusty Buck 110. Alright, here she is. The old Mossberg did its job. Just out of curiosity. Ooh, doggy, look at that. Yeah. That's pretty intense. No, she was almost straight to me, so yeah. Wow. Alright, so I paced it off, and that was a 113-yard shot, which is the furthest shot that I've ever made with this gun. Now, it does shoot really good. I'd like to think that I could have made that shot with just the iron sights, but my eyesight's not quite as good as it used to be. So just for this season, I've got the scope on here. This is a Leupold, actually the first Leupold scope I've ever owned. It's a 1.5 to 4 power, the 20 millimeter objective lens there. And it works really well for this. Yeah. People usually ask me why I don't use the Sabo slugs and a rifled slug barrel. That's why. I just don't see that big of a difference in the accuracy most times, right? Now, if you just buy the first slugs you see and pop them into your shotgun, that you may only get 50 yards of accuracy. Or you may get 100 yards of accuracy like this one. It just depends on what your gun likes. And you got to shop around with the slugs to find one that it does like. And yeah. So actually the Federal 2 3/4 inch rifled slugs are not the favorite ones for this gun. Actually the Brennecke KO slugs are, but I couldn't find those this year. So a close second is the Federal ones. So yeah, been a great gun, been a rough season. But if I only get one deer this season, you know, I'd like to get it with old Trusty here. Alright guys, yep. You see this is the shoulder bone that got hit. That slug traveled all the way through, crossways, and I think I can feel it right here, just in front of the back leg. Let's see if we can get that out. Alright, here it is. You can see the rifling, or what's left of it. And it had some massive deformation. And that is still a huge chunk of lead. And that went from the point of the shoulder on this opposite end all the way through the deer and stopped right here in front of the back leg on the other side. That's crazy. Now that I've got it all cleaned up, here's maybe a little bit better look at this slug. And you can see that at least a quarter, maybe even a half of that is actually fragmented off. Now I didn't find those other fragments. They may have ended up in the gut pile. I've never seen that before. Every time I've ever found a slug in the deer, it's always been intact. For reference, here's what I used last year, the Brennecke KO slugs, and here is a slug that was recovered from one of the does I got last year. No fragmentation or anything. It has flattened out a lot. That's a big old chunk of lead either way. But anyways, there you go. If you're wondering what the deer looks like now, a little follow up on that. There it is. Alright guys, that is all the time that I have for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thumbs up.